On Instagram. Hello, Instagram. Hello, Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to Porter Coaching Studio, aka my living room. I'm just going to click on a couple of places, make sure that I'm actually live. Okay, it's looking good. So, happy Wednesday evening. I'm starting to make this a tradition where I make some peanut butter cookies, and when I finish doing this live stream, then I get to eat them, the cookies and the almond milk, which all of these are lactose free because I am lactarded, or lactose intolerant, as some of you might call it. So my name is Chris Porter. I'm an ADHD coach, and I'm going live for 30 days straight in order to share about this group coaching program that I've been putting together and to just get it out there instead of sitting on the sidelines and just waiting around. So today is day 11 of this process. And if I miss a day, if I don't go live, then I have to eat this dog food. And I'll have this can of dog food, which I do not want to eat. The chicken and rice formula for dogs, not for humans. I probably wouldn't get sick by eating it, but I don't want to have to find out. So, let's see. Put that up there on my handy wall. And so today, I know I've been going through the 7 habits of the 7 focus habits for an intentional life. And I think yesterday I said I was covering habit 6. That was actually habit 5. Today, I'm covering habit 6, which is get growth guidance. And all of these habits are things that I've kind of picked up and discovered in my research, in my long years of knowing that I had ADHD since I was 6 years old, and just trying to find ways of unlocking the full potential of my neurodivergent brain. And through doing this, I've also loved helping other people. And so I found that I just get a kick out of meeting with people and talking to them, understanding what their goals are. And so I started doing that in 2014. And then fast forward 2022, I went through an incubator program and realized I want to do coaching. And that the thing that I've been doing all along for free and just helping out people is something that I can get paid to do. And it's something I've been doing for free for a long time. Why don't I become an ADHD coach? So then I became an ADHD coach and started seriously compiling all of the research, all of the things that I've done for myself that have worked and have helped me to find my focus and flow. And so that's what these 7 habits of 7 focus habits for an intentional life. That's what these are. It's some of it is like my take on other people's advice, and some of them are straight up other things that people have shared. Today, the Get Growth Guidance is all about having somebody else in your life to be a mirror into what's going on. It's been super helpful for me since I've been married, having somebody else that could give me insight into the things that are happening in my life or affecting me. So a quick story about that. I have been drinking coffee since I was maybe 12 or 13 years old. I suffered from asthma, and my parents found out that drinking coffee would actually help to open up the alveoli and all of the blood flow and stuff in my lungs and prevent the asthma attack. And so I started drinking coffee back then. And then when I got married, my wife was noticing that every day that I'd have coffee, I would be anxious and irritable. And then especially when it was wearing off in the evenings, I would just become this other person that I was not nice. And then when I went to my naturopath, which again, my wife recommended I go to, found out that I was super low on cortisol, on norepinephrine, on and then also on dopamine and some other things that are related to my ADHD. But so she put me on, my naturopath put me on some adaptogens that have helped my raise up my norepinephrine and my cortisol. And what's the other one? I can't remember what it's called right now. but adrenaline. There we go. So now that my adrenaline is fixed, I am able to function so much better, but I'm not able to drink any coffee. Wah, wah. I know that some of you might be like, well, whatever, I don't care. But that was a big part of my life. I worked in coffee shops for a long time. But so that came about because my wife was this mirror into what I was doing, what was happening. And I didn't really notice those swings throughout the day. But because she was around, she was able to say like, hey, it's every day that you drink coffee, you are having this experience. And so then since I've worked with a business coach, and they've done similar things for me, being this kind of mirror to show me things that aren't working well that maybe I thought were working well. Sometimes I also have a hard time remembering the positive things that are going well. That business coach is able to say like, hey, don't you remember you set this goal and now you've achieved that goal? For ADHD, it's also super important to have somebody in your life that can help to like see what's going on and the negative patterns that you might be doing and simple hacks that you can change your behavior. Like I know I talked yesterday about the point at it, say it out loud as a way to change and adjust your habits. So the Japanese do this on their train lines. They'll have somebody like, I'm inspecting the door and it is closed. I am looking up at this headlight and it is okay. I am looking over here and it is okay. And that's a way of hacking your brain to get it to be able to really make things important and to not skip over, because our brain likes to try and find shortcuts. And so it's a way of circumventing that. And so having this growth guidance and having somebody in my life, it doesn't always have to be a coach. It can just be somebody that that's holding you accountable, that can point out the things that are working well, or can just bring up, hey, you mentioned, 4 weeks ago that this thing was important, and yet, are you still working out? You said you wanted to be working out. How is that going? And just by having somebody ask that question, it's super powerful and can help you to really get back on track for the goals and the things that you've set. So there's a great book called The Drummer and the Great Mountain, which is about an ADHD coach wrote it, sharing many of the things that have helped him in his journey. And one of the chapters is all about how to create this other person in your life that can give you kind of that mirror and can kind of be a coach. So if you don't have the money to hire a coach like me or like the author of The Drummer and Great Mountain, he spells out a very clear process for how to work through things. And I also really like that he's addressing kind of an emotional perspective on stuff. Like when you first show up, like what's coming up in you? Because our emotions really are what help to guide our decisions. There's a psychological study where they've severed, or back when they used to do experiments on people, they would like either find people that had like I think it's like spinal meningitis, where it would attack the part of their brain that was in charge of emotions. And those people have such a hard time making a decision because emotions are what actually help to guide us. And so for me with ADHD, my emotions are sometimes very strong and kind of, I can get dysregulated by how strong my emotions might feel in the moment. And so having somebody else that can help to, point that out in me is super helpful, along with some of the other tools that I have to kind of regulate myself in the moment. But yeah, so Get Growth Guidance is all about having others in our lives to be able to help us to fully unlock our potential. So if you don't have that, I highly recommend at least checking out that book, The Drummer and the Great Mountain, or joining my group coaching sessions, because we're going to be going over that process and sharing how to have others in your life give you feedback and to give you that growth guidance that you need in order to reach your full potential. So I'm thinking if I have any other stories about that. I think the only other story is just, I shared briefly about it yesterday, that I, as an entrepreneur, have been surrounded by lots of other people because I was a board member of Gangplank. Anybody that joined Gangplank was a board member, and so we had all these entrepreneurs that were around and helped each other to grow. And that was super nice to have just other people that I could talk to about being an entrepreneur and that entrepreneurial journey. And then more recently, I went through Surge back in 2022. And that also helped me be around 5 other entrepreneurs and just, again, get that growth guidance and hear that perspective from other people of what is it like for them to be an entrepreneur and how similar that was to my story and how challenging it can be going through just starting your business. So, I think that's everything I wanted to share about Get Growth Guidance. I'm excited that I got through day 11 of this 30-day challenge of going live or having to eat dog food. So I don't have to eat dog food tonight. I get to eat my cookies instead. And tomorrow I'll be sharing the 7th habit, which is, if I can remember it, of course, simply strategize. So I'll share the book that came from and how that's influenced my life. And then, I've got if it's day 11, I have 29. I've got 19 more topics to share, stories from my life of growing up having ADHD, how I got diagnosed, and then also I've been doing some some research into other people that are successful that have ADHD, because there is hope for me, there's hope for you, there's hope for all of us that we can still live a great life and have huge potential despite having this deficit, because it is a deficit, but getting that diagnosis of having ADHD really is good news, because it's one of the most treatable conditions, both through medication, through just life interventions. So I've seen it in my own life, and I hope that you're able to see that in yours as well. I know I've mentioned the group coaching program. I am launching the program soon after the 30th day. And if you sign up on the wait list before I finish this challenge, then I've decided to give you a 50% discount. I'm working through exactly what the totals and what the numbers are going to be for joining. But if you sign up before the end of my live streams, so before 19 days from now, then you will get a 50% discount. After that, I will still probably offer some discounts, but it will not be the 50%. It will be less than that. So encourage you to sign up on the wait list if you're somebody that has ADHD or you struggle with focus and flow. And if you just know somebody that this would probably resonate with them, please share the wait list with them, share these videos, because it's part of my life's mission is to help other people like me discover their full potential and discover the full potential of their brains. So, thanks for joining. I guess one other thing I want to do every time is I like to celebrate the wins. And today, celebrating one more day. I could have held the microphone up so you got the ASMR of the squeaky marker. Today is brought to you by Mr. Pen Jumbo Marker. Thank you for joining. I'll see you again tomorrow. And if I don't, then I'll be eating some dog food. Cheers. Goodbye, Instagram. You're going to go away first. Yeah, you got a close up of my cookies and milk. And all right. And goodbye, YouTube.